Alrighty then. I think let's get this show on the road. Hello and welcome to the second stream in a row after being away for more than a year. It's good to see you all again, especially you, Yaya, in the chat. Don't think I would ever forget you and your amazing animations and your impact on this community. It's so good to see you again, man. It's been a great day so far. Today's my birthday, which means it's also the 3-year anniversary of CAD Model of the Day. So yeah, overall, very good. Saying happy birthday with my family. My grandma got me this awesome little gift here. Look at this little cactus that I got. It's like literally my favorite thing now. But she said she got it thinking of me, so now it's just gonna sit here on my desk and be my little streaming buddy. Right now I'm just chilling, drinking another High Noon vodka soda, and we'll get another CAD model of the day. So I didn't mean to clickbait you guys or anything like that. I was really planning to end CAD model of the day today, basically. Having the 3-year anniversary be the end, basically. But when I pointed out that today's day number 1097, one of the chatters yesterday, I believe was Mary CK Builds, said that's a very not round number. You should go until 1100. And I thought about it, and I think I'm going to do that. We're going to go to 1100, so after this stream, there's going to be 3 more days of CAD Model of the Day. And then after that, I'm retiring the project because, for the reasons I gave yesterday, it's served its purpose in terms of, getting me a lot of content to talk about. It got me a lot of engagement, a lot of exposure, so it worked out pretty well. But right now, I think the project is towards the end of its life, and it's been a good run. It's just not getting the same engagement anymore. And I also want to focus on different kinds of projects where, making models that are just longer. So that'd be pretty cool to actually save my work. Oh, hey, it's Too Tall Toby. How's it going, man? So if you haven't been to Too Tall Toby's channel, you should check it out. He's been running a CAD tournament right now. I haven't been able to check it out, but I will soon. Oh, man, that looks so exciting. But, Toby's been killing it on YouTube. He's gotten a bunch of new subscribers. And, I'm happy. I'm happy for him, man. He's getting the recognition he deserves, and probably keep shooting for the stars over here. So really awesome to see Toby in my chat, man. that was really crazy when I participated in the CAD tourney that one time. And so many talented designers out there, so many talented designers. Hey Chris, what's going on? Well, welcome to the stream. We're just getting settled in, getting started. Gaurav, hey, how's it going, man? It's been a while. Thank you for the happy birthday wishes. I turned 29 today. I'm starting to become old now, and I don't like the feeling of it. So, I'll try not to think about it too hard. I'll try and just distract myself with 3D modeling. Today's been a really, really good day so far, and I think what a way to cap it off with just a casual old stream and figure out what to model. Yeah, what a better way to celebrate your birthday than to spend some time with SolidWorks. Exactly. That's the right idea right there. I got a lot done today. Also in the United States, today's election day. So one of the first things I did was, before work started, I went out and cast the ballot for the midterm elections in the state of Florida. So, got that done, and it was kind of funny because when I went and showed my ID, it displays your birth date so they can verify it, and the the person verifying my identity was like, "Oh, it's your birthday, man! Like, happy birthday!" And a lot of people around there wish me a happy birthday at the polling place. So it was a really good way to start. Work was pretty good too, albeit uneventful. And I just really quickly spent time with my parents and my grandma. Right after work, we shared a cake, and now I'm here. So been a fun and jam-packed day. But yeah, so the thing is, I don't know what to do for the model for today. So yeah, I might search on if you guys have any ideas of models I can do, feel free to suggest something. If not, I could search like for example McMaster Carr's catalog, just to get inspiration for some ideas for what to do today. And I swear, I think this is what is making the project so hard to keep up with at this time. Yeah, it's just thinking of the ideas. Okay, we got some good suggestions. So we got blue cactus. So this is the cactus my grandma picked out for me. I love her to death. But the thing is, I could see myself doing that. I try and not to repeat the same items. So I have done, funnily enough, 2 cactuses already. So if I do this one, this would be the 3rd cactus that I do in the project. I don't know how I remember that, but that is true. That is the truth. Toby with the hockey puck. That's I'd be down to do that. Maybe a special kind of hockey puck that has certain kinds of details. I think would be pretty interesting. So it's not one feature and it's over. Or how about a birthday cake? That's another good one. With a virtual flat candle. Yeah, maybe that I can make that the centerpiece. That's actually I kind of like that idea. No says just circle extrude done. Oh man, there's been a lot of days where it's just oh, it's 11:30. I have 30 more minutes to do that, and I really I can't deny that the thought of doing that has tempted me in the past. Man, that's too funny. I mean, what is kind of funny too is that I've been trying to take ice skating lessons because I very much like watching hockey. So that's always something I've been interested in. And I guess I'll tell you guys a funny story, but I have to pull up a link on my computer here. But basically, I have, I don't know how to say this. I have weird feet, I guess. They're just really wide and just kind of, they're just really wide, right? And I've been having trouble finding hockey skates that actually fit. So I went to a hockey store in Pompano Beach where they actually had a 3D scanner where they actually 3D scan your feet, and it actually produces a 3D model that you can look at, and they give you all the measurements. It's really cool, really wild. Would that be weird looking at a scan of my feet on stream? I don't think that's the kind of stream I wanted. I don't know about that. But I mean, they're just there's gray STL things, so it's very very basic. All right, filter by this. All right. Can I copy this link? If I copy this link, and let me do this. paste. All right, that is a long link. We'll go here. All right, so let me do this. All right, guys, feet reveal, sort of. But basically, I went to a hockey store that had like a really cool like 3D scanner, and they scanned my feet. And you know what we found was very interesting. That, well, I guess let me move like the window like over here. My feet are like a certain size that corresponds. Hockey boot sizing is like different than, U.S. shoe sizing. So that's just a size. But if you look at width, I'm basically off the scale, because double E is like the widest boot you can get off the shelf, and my feet are even wider than that. So it's like, once I got this scan, I was like, oh, that's why everything sucks right now, and I can't find anything. But it's really, really amazing technology. I'm not gonna lie. And then also telling me what I know about my arch height, that my foot is actually a little bit on the flatter side too. But yeah, I was like very, very fascinated with this. This 3D scanning technology telling me that I have basically frog feet, or I guess. But yeah, no, that's something I've been fighting with. Although I did order a pair of skates, are coming in the mail, so we'll see how that goes. But other than that, so getting back on track, moving away from the whole feet thing, I guess. I'm thinking of making a cake, or at least a candle. I don't think I've ever made a candle before. So I think I'll probably do something like that. So, and I guess what we're looking at right now is what I produced yesterday. I did a little bit of surfacing. Oh yeah, Yaya's saying, how about an infinite zooming looping animation? Macro model with camera zooming into a miniature version of the same model and loop. Oh man, that's an interesting idea. I don't know if I could pull it off. Maybe not. Yeah, that's something that I think I could do. It might take me a little while to tune it to make it look just right. Yeah, so if we look at number candles, yeah, maybe I kind of like the idea of doing like a virtual flat candle, but in the style of maybe like this, where it's like the traditional number, it's got that outline. Oh my god, only 42 cents. Well, I guess it is just a block of wax, right? Shouldn't be that much. Face mask futuristic version. That actually reminds me of a 3D print that I did a long time ago when the pandemic was, starting to kick in. That people couldn't find masks, and someone published a 3D printable face mask that basically came apart, and instead of if you couldn't find a face mask, you'd be able to get like an air conditioning filter, which can filter out viral particles. You cut a piece of that and then basically sandwich it together. I think there was a little bit of issues with the design, but something that I kind of printed that I was bored. I never used it, basically, because I think everyone was just staying home at that point. But I might be able to dig it up. Let me see. I think I know where it is. I'm gonna look for like 2 minutes. I'll be right back. All right, you can talk to the chair. All right. Alright, so I found the print, and I also found another cool print that I did. So both of these prints were done on the Cindo 3D Wax 2X. It's a dual a dual nozzle printer, which was pretty cutting edge for the time, but you know, I think more has come out at this point. Let me put this back here. All right, that should fix it. Thank you so much, Yaya. Yeah, for not letting me go too far. I see the levels going, so that's going pretty good. But thank you for stopping me before I got too far. But basically, what I was saying, you know, here's the print that I found. To be clear, I did not design this. It was made by some designer. I don't think it was on GrabCAD. I can't recall what platform I even got this on. It was just so long ago. But basically the idea is you would cut a piece of filtering material, ideally air conditioning filter, because, you know, of its ability to filter out viral particles, and then you snap it on and, you know, you look like Bane. It doesn't seal all that well because of my beard and, you know, because, of course, this doesn't fit my face exactly, but I suppose you could put like foam. Like, I printed it, you know, I like how it came out, you know, in terms of 3D print quality, but never ended up using it. It's never any need at that point. But in the same drawer, when I was looking at, found this too. So this was also not designed by me either. And I think I was... Here, let me put my face here. 3D print here. Okay, yeah, it's mirrored, so... Okay. But basically, it's two bodies nested within each other. I think a student designed this. Back at SolidWorks World 2018, I met a high school teacher who we exchanged emails pretty much, and we kept in touch. And one of his students designed this, like, you know, right around the time of the pandemic. So I meant to send this to him, but, you know, because, you know, things were very frantic and falling apart at that time, you know, I never got around to it. But look how cool it is. So this is done with the dual nozzle technology. It's completely nested in each other. But I think that's cool. And it appears to be 2 Mobius strips. I mean, I could try and make this. That's another option. I'm down to make wild geometrical objects. Yeah, I was just thinking about that. Cool model to be doing done using SLS. Yeah, I agree. And actually, let me change this back here. Yeah, definitely with like the to do this in like the Formlabs or something like that would be very, very cool. I have clear resin for it, and things come out pretty good there. So, and actually another 3D print, since, you know, I'm doing show and tell. I see it over there on my desk. One sec. So this was designed by me. This is actually a CAD model of the day, but basically it's just like a stand for my Nintendo Switch. You know, it's 3D printed out of that clear resin, so it looks really cool. I put this alligator sticker on it because I'm from Florida. We gotta represent some alligators or crocodiles. We have both of them over here, but I did like this design because, it was just using the stuff that I had left over, basically. Like, I had a bunch of hardware that I didn't know what to do with. Some standoff posts, long springs. So I was like, can I solve this problem using the stuff that I already have? And this is what came of it. So the angle adjusts because there is... You can see there are teeth that interlock, so you just pull this out and you could just set the angle to whatever you want, and you just have to make the other side match. Yeah, kind of basic, but works a treat. Fairly strong too, even though it's really only held together by the spring. It's perfect for the Nintendo Switch Lite. Yeah, cool stuff. Maybe I should just have a stream of just me digging through. I have like yet more drawers filled with like old projects that I've done. I think that would be pretty cool. Or maybe another stream episode where I go over all the SOLIDWORKS merch I've collected since basically 2015. I have like so many backpacks, so many t-shirts, so many backpacks. A lot of cool and interesting stuff. Some things like more, I guess, rare than others, even though it's kind of weird to think of it like that. But yeah, I have a cool little collection of SOLIDWORKS memorabilia, as you could probably call it. Oh yeah. Anyway, let's try and refocus here. So I like the idea of making candles, because it like represents my birthday, right? And I think I've kind of done that on past birthdays too. I don't think I'm going to be able to find it all that easily. Literally 365 models ago. Or, I mean, we could actually figure it out exactly which one it is, because it's 1097 minus 365 basically. So the last birthday post was 732. Let's see, what the heck did I do there? If I can get to it. Oh, actually, now that I think of it, so this model, you could see, is very simple. This one was done, so, pretty close to the to the hockey puck that pretty close to the hockey puck that Too Tall Toby was suggesting. I made this Monopoly house on Tinkercad, but I did it on an iPhone, literally this iPhone right here. So I CAD'd this on this iPhone, and the story behind this one was basically I went to a video game competition. It was a Smash tournament, and the thing is, I heavily miscalculated. I mean, it says right here, I'm heavily miscalculated when I thought I would get back. Basically, we left for the tournament on like 4 p.m., but we were out like till past midnight, because the brackets were taking so long, and I didn't bring my laptop or anything, so all I had was my phone and Tinkercad, and this is what I came up with. Yaya says, I'm starting to get my SOLIDWORKS themed outfit ready, only missing the trousers and socks. That's really impressive. And that also reminds me, someone gave me a YouTube comment. Yeah, this guy is asking where I got my hat. Oh, dumb ad. Yeah, why does this guy have to put ads on his videos? What a scumbag. But yeah, that's the CSWE hat. So this hat, this is actually, the hat is in like 8-bit style. Even though like the design of the logo is from SOLIDWORKS, of course. You know, I did make the pixel art version of these. And, you know, I made like a one-off hat, basically. I've considered like having something like this as merchandise, but I would have to like talk to SolidWorks Corp before I do that. You know, I would want their okay before I do something like that, because even though it's like my version of it and my artist's interpretation of it, you know, I could, you know, I just want to make sure that we're on the same page, that if they're okay with me, you know, distributing something like this, you know. So I would like to get like hats like this, or even like, you know, I'm not really interested in the money and selling it, so maybe I just give the design to them and they produce it. I just think it's a cool hat and it should exist and be given to Yaya, at least one of it, so he has this SolidWorks themed outfit, or certification themed outfit. Yeah, anyway, getting back to this, so we're looking for model of the day 732. Oh yeah, and there's a stand right there. It's like 857. Alright, once I get to 732, I'm just gonna stop there, because I know there's technically two, or I guess one more birthday post that's like in there. Wouldn't it be easier to search through Windows Explorer? Good point. It's the question of whether I have it or not, because the CAD model of the day actually spans through 4 of my computers. You know, so it's just kind of like spread out all over the place. But you know, let me search. 7. Oh, it looks like just barely missed it. Yeah, because these ones were downloaded after the fact, but at 732. So I got this computer, or started modeling in this computer 3 days after my birthday last year. Oh, but I think I passed it. Yeah, that's another thing I need to do once I retire the project and put a nice little bow on it. You know, I definitely want to get like an external hard drive or something like that and just collate all of the models together as like a hard copy, so to speak. So 732. Oh, this was one of my birthday gifts. So, you know, that's kind of in theme of like would be me modeling this. Someone gave me this little puzzle that I thought was very interesting. This surprisingly was I think it was very difficult to model. Like, doesn't look that difficult, but just, you know, conceptualizing the geometry and just making the handedness of it fit was trickier than I would expect. Like, I was still able to get it done during the day, or during that evening. But yeah, so I modeled a present here. You know, it's just crazy, like, how, you know, when you do so many projects like this, that it's just easy to lose track of which ones you've done. Like, if you ask me what I did my birthday the year before that, I actually couldn't tell you. I don't remember. It's like I like to think of these little things as my children, right? But, you know, when you have, like, almost 1,100 of them, you know, my human brain is only so capable, I guess. But yeah, I think I'm pretty much decided. I'm gonna model a candle in this kind of style, I think. So now, you know, and I could do like a set of candles. Like, maybe I can do one where it's the virtual flat block, and then one where it's the actual flat symbol, and then maybe the other being the V. So it's like, yeah, we can do that. All right, I think I like that idea the best, so I'm just gonna roll with it. Ooh. sure. Alright. We're doing pretty good here so far. So in terms of modeling the block, I'm trying to think of what's a cool fancy way we can do that. And I think that would be with a center rectangle. And actually, if I just turn these into non-construction, so I change that, set these to equal, and these candles will have to be kind of small, so I'm going to say 2 inches or 50 millimeters. Windows Explorer is my favorite program. Oh boy, you know, so Windows Explorer is very interesting in the way that I don't know, like when I used Windows 7, like Windows Explorer is like one of those consistent programs that just doesn't hang or crash or anything like that, which I know sounds weird, but you know, throughout my career using you know, Windows 10, I find that Windows Explorer is a lot more unstable, and sometimes I just have to kill it. Actually, if I wanted to be cheeky, I could just reuse this. So, face or plane. And so there's my block. So I think what I want to do is outline it like this, just like the overall shape. So let me change a couple of visual settings here. I don't know if we do have a wax, but you know, I like into this textured EDM plastic, and instead of like bright blue like that. Mary CK, good to see you again. They were here yesterday, and you know, we had a lot of fun. But yeah, we're making some candles. So what do I want to do now? The thing is, this is actually going to be tricky, because if I want to do this as a series of sweeps, it's actually not really a problem to convert all these edges. That much is easy. What's tricky is how all these edges interconnect with each other, the topology of the edges, so to speak, that I want to basically thicken out to make it look more, you know, like a candle. But I suppose I could start with just converting the edges and see where that gets me. So if I get a 3D sketch, set my edge filter to edges, and then hit Control A, that just selects all the edges, and you hit convert. There's all the edges in a sketch. Oh, thank you for the birthday wishes. Yeah, man, it really warms my heart that I don't know. I just really appreciate you guys. But yeah, so now we have this in a sketch. So now the tricky thing is, how do I basically sweep along all these paths and do it in such a way that, you know, SOLIDWORKS is happy with it, because there's such a large like network. And I think the way I'll do it, yeah, it's just gonna have to be broken up into a series of sweeps. So let me get the swept command, set it to circular, and I'll leave it to that value. Extrude circles, you could, but you'd have to do it along all of these paths, so it's still a lot. But I think with sweep, paired with Selection Manager. Let me see what the loop does for me. Okay, so it does recognize loops, but not necessarily the ones that I'm interested in. So I'm interested in one of these L-shaped faces, so I think I might just have to pick it out manually, which is not the worst thing ever, I suppose. So just do one like that. So there's one, and I need to bring that back. And actually, if I just do one half, you know, it's not a mirror, but I could do a circular pattern. Circular pattern to get them across. Weldments is actually a good idea. The only thing is I'm too lazy to create a new profile just for this. So that's a me problem. Other than that, it's a good idea. But I think if I just like go for it again. Yeah, I think it's just a matter of finding the most connected edges, basically. So if I do that again, should be able to merge. Whoops! Oh, I goofed that up. Select. Well, hey Raj, thank you for the birthday wishes. We're just goofing around here. Perhaps making a virtual flat themed birthday candles. So there's that. Oh, actually, I think this will work out. So then it should be 2 more sweeps, and then I think I'll be able to pattern them. So if I do circular profile, select. Yeah, and then if I just do the one more, I think that should be... Oh no, it has to be a mirror specifically. Well, that's okay, we'll just make it plain. How about adding spheres to the corner to clean the intersection? That's probably a good idea. Or I'll see if I can do a little bit of magic with perhaps a bit of delete face. Since you're right, they're not created at the same time as each other. But yeah, no, that's another good idea. But we'll selection manager that. Okay, so let's see what I can do about this goofy corner. So let's... so this is going to be 1097. I don't want to keep forgetting that. This is candles. It'll be a series of candles. This is block. Candle. So let's get our delete face tool. I think if I delete those two, what does that look like? Doesn't like it. Which is fine, yeah, because I can't delete that that entire face. Yeah, I think I might be a fan of just adding like little spheres and then maybe trying to fill at them to just kind of blend them in. It'll like bulge out a little bit. It'll be barely perceptible, but so I do have an idea of how we can accomplish this. But I think before then I would have to mirror this wireframe, so to speak, over. So let me get a plane and just selecting the 2 edges like that, or the 2 sketches where it just bisects it. We're gonna mirror bodies, hit OK, and actually I wanted that to merge. Yeah, we get more of the weird corner treatments. But I'm actually going to take Yaya's suggestion here. So what I think I'm going to start with first, so here's an example of a weird corner. start. And let's see. We make it 0.0. Oh, that's in radius, so I need to half that. 0.07. That doesn't seem to be enough. So maybe something like that. If you revolve, you could make it a little smaller. Though that does clean it. Well, actually, something that I just thought of. If you do that and then delete face, it should miter these all together. No, it doesn't. Never mind. I thought I stumbled onto something cheeky. Yep, no such luck. It's all good. Alright, so we'll stick with Yaya's plan here. Let's see. So now that I have this, so I think what I'm going to do to get the spheres everywhere else is I'm going to use a sketch-driven pattern. So I'm going to get a 3D sketch and basically plop down some points wherever one of these occur. Actually, it doesn't have to be every point, but just to be consistent, like because that edge treatment looks good, but you know. And if this doesn't work, I have yet another idea of how to get that done. So I think that's all of them. So it's these three here, these three here, these four on this level, and then missing one right here. 1, 2, 3. Is there one here? Yeah. 4, 5, 6. So now basically I've placed points on all of the missing locations. So let's see what sketch-driven pattern thinks about that. I hope this works. Features and faces. Grab this one. And that appears to be populating the way I expect. And yeah, that actually looks pretty good, I think. Let me hide this sketch. And this one too. Not bad. And I think just to blend them, I'm going to see if I just apply fillets on all of these faces. Yeah, I think the fillets might be too large. So I do that. There we go. And I suppose I could just do select all for faces, but I either want to select all of the balls or all of the sticks. Not both, but if I do that, and especially if you do view, display, tangent edges removed, yeah, that looks pretty good. And hang on, what is that? Oh, come on. What is that? Does that appear anywhere else? Yeah, it does. Well, kind of. Actually, that's from the treating of the fillets, so that's nothing to be afraid of. Yeah, so this persists here. That can be taken care of with a delete face. I just need to know where else it appears. Actually, I might be able to use a trick for this. Let me see something. Can I measure? If I go evaluate, measure this. So the area is 2 10,000ths square inches. If I do check, check. thought you check by areas of a face. That's too bad. I might be misremembering something. Falcon Claw. Yeah. So, well, the other solution that we could possibly do is just to make the spheres bigger. You know, if I go to this revolve and turn this to 0.06, I would expect that to clean that up, and it does. It's just now that the spheres are a little bigger. I mean, personally, I kind of like the way it looks. Save that, and let's make the outline a color. I believe it's an option from select. Oh, I think you're right. Yeah, one sec. So it's advanced select, right? Oops. So it's not this. So select by size is by envelope size in an assembly, so it's not that. I think it's under power select, but it's grayed out for one reason or another. Do we have to pre-pick something? Yeah, I want to say the options are under power select. I don't exactly know why it's grayed out. But anyway, I'm just gonna keep going. So we'll do that. Looks cool. Though I might make the blue a little bit lighter. Maybe change the angle just a little bit. Now we're talking. I like that. And actually, so this needs a stem, right? Like the actual thing that you stick into the cake. I'm gonna go here. Yeah, I need this little nib. And I guess I could make that a square that's centered about here. Suppose I could reuse this sketch. But basically, I just need to find the centroid of that. That's gonna stick there. Actually, be kind of... Yeah, it's implied equals, so I don't actually have to add an equals because it's locked along this 45-degree track. That's kind of neat. So I just have to put one dimension. I think I liked it a little bit longer. Oops. Let's actually just want to do select. Just merge with this body, please. Put some rounds on it. Like that. Looks like some spam. Let me get rid of that. I wanted more than timeout. Let's just do hide. Alright, so, yeah, don't click that. Well, I mean, for like the 3 seconds that it was there. So now we gotta make a wick. So it looks like it is just like a little cylinder, like a little thing sticking out. So at least with this, I could, if I say put, well, how do I want to do this? I could put a sketch plane and have like the wick curve out, Yeah, I think I'll do that. So I'll do a plane, basically bisecting those two faces. Just to double check. I don't. Yeah, I have no plane already. Just circle extrude. Yeah, I don't exactly see how that could be done with extrude. Although I am always open to learning new things, but basically I'm going for geometry like this. Just get rid of that. Basically where we have an and. Put that there. Let's get an overall length. And like an offset. So then I'll do it. Let's do something like that. And then we just do that, basically. And then fill it. That looks kind of cute, actually. It's an unlit candle. Maybe I could do the next one lit. And actually, you know, to replicate, you know, these random polka dots on it, just to give it a bit more texture, because it just looks so bland right now. I might go into paint.net and like make like a decal or something that it could just map everywhere. Yeah, I think I'll do that. So let's get paint.net open. I'm gonna close that and open a new project. We'll put it in here. Oh, not open. We just need a new project. Let's make the texture not that big. It doesn't have to be, so I'll do 512 by 512. Grab everything and delete. So I want this to be like a transparent texture. We're making like a little confetti. And I think I'm just gonna get like the brush, you know, pick some colors. Maybe bigger than that. Let's do 20. So some yellow, some green, of course some blue, some orange, maybe we could put a couple pink ones in there too. Alright, so there's some confetti, I guess. So we will save this. Oh, not that. That was a house plan I was working on. Confetti. And then I think what I should be able to do is go to appearances, decals, add decal. Go to candles, mapping, and we're just gonna pick, oh, I have to set alpha. Okay, so there's one of the points, but it's being a little goofy. Think how I want to do this. Is it just to make the image larger? It would seem like that. Yeah, so I think if I go here, it's like tangency. Actually, am I able to just put a body in here? Let me try that. So body, this body. Okay. We are getting somewhere. That is kind of doing what I want, but I think the dots are too big. So what I think I'll do, so I know overall what settings I need. I'm just going to resize this. Canvas size, so put this to the bottom left, and I'm just going to double the size, so 1024. 1024, so it'll scoot it to the bottom left. Get rid of that. I just copy this a couple times. And I think the colors are too saturated, so what I'll do also is just turn down the saturation. Turn lightness a little bit up. Okay, so it's a little bit more muted. So save that, and we'll just try to apply that decal again. And the nice thing is, once I get this to look right, I could use it on the other candles too. But we're going to use the alpha channel, mapping, select the body, this body. It actually didn't appear to change, and I think it might be a bug or something, or maybe just something I'm doing wrong, but I think SOLIDWORKS loaded the image into memory and hasn't cleared it, so it's like the previous image, which is why it looks exactly the same. So the thing, I think the thing to get around it is to just create copy and then make that the new decal. Alpha mapping onto a body, this body. Yep, there we go. That's kind of good for the most part. Yeah, they're a little stretched here, which is kind of funny. I might just be able to override these three faces, or I guess these four. Let's see, if I go here, edit decal, mapping, set it to faces now, and just pick the one face. So that doesn't appear to be doing anything. What happens if I just like do that? You know, I'll probably just leave it as is for the time being. It was just to give it like a little bit more visual contrast. You know, these things aren't perfect either. Mine's definitely more speckled. All right, so we got one of our candles done. So I overall like the way this looks. Oh yeah, saying rename the file. Yeah, that's the workaround. Plane passing through three corners and project from it. Equally distorted spectacles. Actually, that's not a bad. That's a pretty good idea. Let me try that. Yeah, but basically, if for example I bring the sketch pattern and I grab a plane between, for example, this, and this, we get a plane that is going to project onto all faces, and they're all going to be a little distorted, which, you know, that's kind of what I'm going for anyway. So let's see if we can't do that for ourselves. So projection, so instead of current view, you say selected reference, put in plane 3. Hey, I think the winner this time is Yaya, because I like that a lot better. Yep, I like that. Alright, so that's one of them. And I think we could do a V candle. I think that's gonna be easy. You know, it'll take me just a few minutes, I think. But kind of in this same style. Oh man. So for those of you who partake in beers and stuff of the like, let me know what your favorite beer is, because you know, when I go restock, I'll see if they have any in the local store here. I'll put it in my fridge, and you know, I think we could make a little thing out of it, you know, where I just like taste beers that people recommend for me. I'm pretty open-minded. I'll try anything: stouts, IPAs, blonde, dark, you know, citrusy, hoppy. I just like beer. Alright, so for the B flat, for the symbols, you have to talk to Kirby and Johnny. Yeah, that's yeah. I forgot about them for a sec. No, but they're definitely connoisseurs. So I'll be sure to hit them up for that. You know, though this vodka soda is pretty good too. It's like not too strong either, so it's not like I'm being completely wasted here. But it's just, you know, just to chill out. So let me check for something. I might have to search my other computer here. So DBLK. Oh yeah, so I guess there's a couple new people in chat. So if you don't know what's happening now, I have my my tower computer back here, which is handling the streaming. So that's the computer I've basically always had since almost the very beginning of the project. But I also have this. So this is the Framework laptop. Bought this last year. So the screen you're seeing right now is from the Framework laptop right now, and I've been doing most of my projects on this PC. Not particularly powerful, but for the model of the day, where the models are just a lot simpler, it works pretty well, I would say. But right now, I'm actually looking for a sketch block. BLK logo. Virtual flat logo. That's solid block. I think that's it. So I think if I just send that to myself through Discord. I'll just be able to collect that on my other computer. Let's download this block. Here, let me do a bit of file management for 1 second. Alright, so we have that. Still rocking the quad screen setup, sort of. Not in the exact same way before. So I'll show you here. You know, I can turn the camera around. But first, let me make sure one of the screens is blanked out. One sec. Yeah, actually, I'll just turn off the monitor, even though it's providing a little bit of lighting. Yeah, but if I take this, I'll take you guys for a ride. One sec. And actually, let me change the full webcam view. Yeah, so my desk is a little cluttered right now. I guess so. There's the Framework laptop there. That's I'm doing the modeling from. There's my touchscreen monitor. I see the playlist there. There's OBS. So these two screens are connected to that tower computer over there, and then this 4K monitor is connected to my my consulting PC. So that's where I do proprietary work for my main job. Pay the bills. So yeah, so that's a setup right now, and admittedly it's kind of cluttered right now. Because I'm still trying to figure out what exactly I need to just be successful in streaming. Admittedly, this setup is just kind of experimental, one computer just kind of feeding into another via a capture card. And I think it's going well. At least I think it went well for the most part yesterday. My laptop did freeze at one point, but it seems to be handling itself a lot better right now. So I guess to answer your question, I got 3 screens. I just have the laptop and then the dual screen for a regular old dual screen. Like a pleb for my tower computer that handles the streaming. Was this the first behind the scenes? It very well could have been, and definitely I'd like to give you guys a little bit more of a tour, but once I I'd like to clean up a little, get the printers running again. Long story short, I was in Pennsylvania for 6 months, so I was not here for half a year, just straight up. So which was part of the reason I didn't stream, I didn't have equipment, but also it was just tough on time. But putting that all aside, yeah, I'd like to give you guys a little tour of my little modular setup and how I handle things and organize them. Yeah, that's the kind of stuff, that would be behind a Patreon. I gave it to you for free, because I love you guys so much. But yeah, let's start a new part. Because now I have the missing piece, which is the block logo. Or yeah, it's the logo. So I'm going to say insert block. And let's go here, candles. Just throw a block down. I admit I don't know how tall this is. Hey, it's Rohan again. What's going on, my man? Good to see you again. We're making candles because this is my birthday. Yeah, I just want a driven dimension. So I definitely want it wider than that. And honestly, I'm gonna have to do some interpretation of this because this is gonna be way too thin to be a candle, realistically. But I do have an idea of how I can get around that. Let's make this taller. Wishing you nothing but the... Yeah, thanks for the birthday wishes, man. You know, you made my wish come true by coming by to the stream and hanging out with me. Really means a lot. I'll leave it like that. Okay, so I think, you know, I'll use this sketch as like a guide to make, you know, basically these blue edge lines. You know, I'll probably follow those. But as for the candle itself, I'm probably going to make a sketch and offset some of these entities. Happy you could catch a stream for a bit? Yeah, of course. You know, any amount of time you give me is always appreciated. You know, I get carried away and can sometimes stream for a long time. So I actually don't expect anybody to, like, you know, stick with it the entire time as I ramble on like a mad scientist or something. I'm gonna do something like this. Let's say offset again. Like that, and then we're gonna trim this up eventually. Just gonna offset like that. So I think first thing I can do is just connect these over. Trim like that. Actually, let me hide this sketch so I can see a bit better. Okay. Boink. Well, that was easy. Oh, the marathon streams were... Man, they were something else. But it really does take like a... It really does take a lot out of you. And, you know, I think for these days, you know, I definitely want to go for, you know, a bit, I guess, shorter, but more often streams. Because, you know, the thing is, like, you know, today is a weekday. I worked all day today and had a bunch of other stuff. But, you know, even if I just stream from, like, an hour, you know, just to show you what I'm up to, I think that's, like, the win. You know, it's better than... You know, I guess no content at all. You know, in interest of you guys just getting the maximum content. And honestly, you guys had a lot of great feedback and suggestions, but that I couldn't do some of them. Like, for example, like somebody mentioned that, you know, even if I don't stream, that I could still record my screen. And even if I did it without commentary, that I could post it to YouTube, which on its face sounds like a great idea. The problem is, when I'm not streaming, I multitask basically. So you'll see, so I'll be answering emails, doing personal messages and stuff like that. And basically it's a privacy issue. Like if I just kept my screen recording the entire time when I do a model, if I tabbed over and talked to someone, that conversation would be recorded, you know, and I didn't want to do anything like that. You don't want to dox anyone by accident. I think this is going good. Good old, yeah, all facts, no printer. My buddy says. So all facts, no printer. There you go. My favorite phrase. But, oop, cannot move feature to itself. Yep, that would be. Tell them thanks. Yeah, I sure will. At first when they said it to me, I didn't get it because I was thinking facts like F-A-C-T-S. I was like, all facts, no print. But when when I thought about it, for like, oh, all facts and no printer. Okay. Yeah, it's so good. I'll just convert these. Actually, what I'll do. Yeah, I think this is gonna have to be 4 separate sweeps, which is fine. Oops. But thankfully, once I do that, I'll just mirror it to the other side, and that'll basically be it. And it's just a matter of just applying appearances after that. No, but definitely when it was not streaming, I still was thinking about making content and like how I could, be more consistent and what kinds of content I can deliver. And I've just had so many ideas. And definitely one thing that I want to get to eventually is short form content like YouTube Shorts, because a lot of those do very well. And actually I have done a couple of YouTube Shorts where I basically explain a CAD model of the day in like 60 seconds, and there's one that is doing really well, and people really like it. Like, even though I don't go really in depth into it, people just love that bird's eye view. It's like literally 1 minute, just tell me what you did. And so I want to do more content like that. Yeah, definitely what I struggle with a little bit is, my speaking and oration skills, I guess you could say. Yeah, I trail off a lot and stuff like that. So, to record short form content like that, actually the way I was doing it before, I would actually do the entire explanation in one take, basically, or in one shot. And it would take me a couple takes because I would misspeak every once in a while. But I've since then learned that, you could edit together clips of you speaking and doing the narration in the app. But I need to become a little bit more proficient in editing YouTube Shorts. Turn this all into 30. Okay. So there's actually 2 more I want to do. So let's do circular profile, 30. now what? Let's do this. A lot of sweeps. And let me just say selection manager. Yep, that entire thing. Asking, will I present at SolidWorks or 3D Experience World 2023? Answer to that, probably. I always thought about my old presentation. To be honest, it was just a bunch of models that I put together, and there was no script or anything like that, and I would have just kind of went through it live, fly by the seat of my pants. So I would have to review that if I wanted to do that again. Or I can try and take the pulse of the CAD community and see what's interesting right now. Like the year I did the mesh modeling presentation. That was just a thing that people were interested in. I think probably yes. It's just a little tricky to do because to really make a good presentation, it takes a lot of work. And it's just, for the same reason why I took such a long break from streaming, it's just hard to find the time. And honestly, things are, calming down a bit. And, to make a long story short, one of the things that happened was I ended up buying a piece of property where I eventually want to build my house in northern Pennsylvania. And basically it was 5 acres that was owned by a compulsive hoarder who basically destroyed the property by littering it. So I went up there for a trip that took 6 months while I tried to clean it up. I mostly got it cleaned up. But man, there was just so much junk. So much junk on that property. But yeah, so even if I had my streaming equipment up there, it's I couldn't really make any content other than just keep going with CAD model today because I would wake up early, be at work for, that 9-hour time period, and then as soon as that ended, I would hop in my truck and drive to the property and start cleaning it up until the sun went down. So it was just it was a tricky time to be alive, I guess I'll say. To be honest, I kind of like the work and the overall act of cleaning up a piece of land, and especially one that so it's land that I can call my own, which I think is really cool, and eventually we'll have a house on it. And just working towards that is just really, really exciting. But building your own house takes a lot of work, man. Yeah, not to sound like a broken record. See if we can grab that silhouette edge in this one. And I could just put a rectangle like right here. But yeah, all that is a long tangent to say that, or let's put it this way: would I like to present at 3D Experience World 2023? Yes, absolutely. Presenting there is fun, and I would, if I did it, I would want to do it in person. Let's do that. Yeah, it's just seeing if I could find the right topic and the time to make it good. Yeah, which is I guess another cardinal sin of mine is that I try, and part of the reason I started CAD Model today was just to get over my perfectionism. That I didn't want to post anything unless, you know, it was, you know, pretty close to perfect. And that's always tough for any line of work, right? And even though I've gotten over it for, you know, mostly, you know, with these models, just kind of training is like, I just gotta deliver. But what happened last year was, you know, I planned to present live. So I had like just a slideshow, no script, no pre-recording. I was just going to go and do a presentation about a couple models that I found interesting, and the techniques were all kind of related to each other. But then they said literally the day before, like, oh, we can't do live. You need to pre-record it. And then it was like, I have work tomorrow. So that's 9 hours out of the day. And the presentation's at like, you know, I would have to record and edit an entire 45-minute presentation in 2 hours. So I thought about it and I was like, if I do that, that would have been absolute garbage. So I think it's just like a balancing act. Like, you don't want to be, you know, super perfectionism, because, you know, you just need to deliver. But my camera is like trying to move it a little bit. Yeah, you don't want to be ultra perfectionism, because you got to deliver at the end of the day. But also, I don't want to just put out garbage because, you know, some suit over at SolidWorks Corp said that, oh, all of a sudden everything has to be recorded. So I just told them I was just gonna can it at that point. Like, I didn't think it would be engaging or particularly good quality. Okay, that looks weird. I think I'm just gonna move that. Let me get rid of this, and instead I'll just put a distance from center to edge like that. Oh, hey Sanjay, thanks for the birthday wishes. Really glad to see you here. Yeah, we're making some candles, so make yourself comfy. Yaya saying, I'll never forget my shock last year after I finished recording my slides and found out I was over the time. I remember that. That's also very hard too. Yeah, my issue was I just didn't have any recording, and I would just have to birth it into existence in 2 hours. But yeah, being over time limit that's also a pickle. That's really hard. Because I think by necessity, you know, if I'm making a presentation like a 3D experience one, it's different than the stream. Because like a stream, like, you know, I'm just, you know, shooting the breeze with you guys, taking tangents, and just, you know, I'm prioritizing, I guess, the relationship with my community over the continuity of the content. Like, we still get there, but, you know, I wouldn't just say put all 4 hours and say like, here, that's a finished presentation. Like, no, that's unwatchable, basically. But when I do something like that, the point I was trying to make was, when you make a presentation like that, you include what you only think is the necessary information, or at least that's how I operate. So when I make a presentation like that, and I include what I only think is the necessary information, and I'm over by something like 19 minutes, that's brutal, because it's, in my mind, it's already trimmed down as much as it will go, right? So where's an extra 19 minutes gonna come off? Very tricky. Let me do this. Intersection curve. Give me that. Yeah, my first ever presentation at what was then called SOLIDWORKS World was an inherited presentation, about SOLIDWORKS certifications, and I think it might be the one that Yaya carries right now, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, it was a presentation handed to me by Rachel York. Content community manager. She doesn't work for SOLIDWORKS Corp anymore, but I think she's doing a streaming career with her husband. They're doing gaming and stuff like that. At one point, I considered simply exporting my video at 1.5 times. That thought would have crossed my mind too. It was like, yeah, and honestly, for someone like me, like I try to enunciate myself pretty well, and that leads me to like a slower rate of speech. So I find that a lot of my videos, you could actually set them to 1.5, and I'm still pretty understandable. Alright, so let's do... that might create a weird condition, actually, because that's a curved surface. So I'm actually going to overbuild this with a line, like that. There we go. So now when I get the sweep there. Yeah, your presentations are always top-notch. And definitely we got to start thinking about... Yeah, I don't know... Since I've been so out of the loop for this, I know something you wanted to do was to create a SOLIDWORKS animations exam to basically hand off to SOLIDWORKS Corp as a certification. We gotta chat about that, man, because I think that would be really cool to see. Oh dear. Oh, hey, man. It's my favorite commenter. I still don't know what to call you, but it's good to see you. We don't have as much surfacing today, I'm afraid. But the good news is I told these guys that I'm going to do 3 more CAD models of the day until I get to 1100. So if you have an idea of like a surfacing model that you'd like me to attempt, you can definitely try that out. I think it'd be fun. Let's fillet this. So I think the shape of this candle is pretty good. Just need to copy over some appearances. Oops. Go back here. So that I copied the blue. Pasting these. Is it B for birthday, or am I missing something? Oh, I'll tell you about it. So, it's actually where the name of my channel came from. So, if you consider, basically, make this quick, I promise. Draw. If you consider this symbol here, like that in music is a flat symbol. So it kind of like it's a homage to my roots as a musician. I studied both engineering and music in college, So the flat part comes from my music background, but this symbol is a virtual sharp. So it's kind of like a dumb joke and a pun at the same time. So instead of a virtual sharp, well, this is a virtual flat. So that's where the name of the channel comes from. This is the virtual flat in Virtual Flat CAD. Oops. Keep hitting the wrong thing. Yeah, I'm a little rusty. So the question is, take another look at the 6. So actually, if there's holes, they don't punch it out. I was thinking of punching out like a hole here, but I kind of like want to stick with like the candle look to it. I think all that's left is to add an appearance. Instead of a decal, let me try this. If I just bring the confetti onto... What happens if I do that? Onto that body and then set... Can I set the alpha channel? No, I can't. That's not gonna work. Whoops. Hello? I don't know why this appearance broke. Apply it to faces. It's fine. There, and I should be able to select tangency. There we go. Oops. Alright, so let's add a decal again. Actually, I might put a plane, similar to what Yaya suggested, or basically exactly the same. But basically, I just want a plane. I think how I want to do this. Plane. Can I go through the origin and then say angle? Oh, it doesn't really like that all that much. Yeah, I might just do an extra sketch. That's fine. Basically, kind of want something at 45 degrees. Like that, and then plane, pick that with the right plane, and there it goes. Yeah, you need a line, so, you know, I would have had to make another feature anyway. So now I have this. So now, save, let's try again. Add decal. Alpha channel. Select a geometry. We're going to select a body. Yeah, I feel like that's a limitation that doesn't necessarily have to be there. Yeah, I think that things are being a little goofy, but it's not too bad. What if I expand this just a bit?
Forget your head and listen to your heart. Because the truth is, honey, there's no sense living your life without this. To make the journey and not fall deeply in love. No. You haven't lived a life at all.
The music is great. Yeah, no, that comes from a good friend of mine. Name is Cordio. Yeah, if you look basically underneath the chat, you can look up any of the songs. They're on YouTube. They're on Bandcamp, Spotify, I believe. So if you want to add them to your playlist, I definitely recommend. It's just good focusing music, I think. And actually, now that I mention his music, this is Menma is actually one of my favorite tracks by him. And actually, I'll have to ask him if I can add some of his new tracks, because since I've streamed last, he's produced more music. So it would be always kind of cool to just add more music into it. Yeah, but I like the way this came out. So we have this. Oops, where did it go? Come back. Lock candle. Okay, so we have this. We have this. And yeah, let's just make a V candle. I think that'll be fast. Especially that I could just use text because it is Century Gothic. So bold, and I'll just put units 2 like that. Actually, even more than that. Let me do a midpoint line like that. Set to construction. Why isn't that? Oh, okay, that you'll have that. It needs to stick there. So now I do that V text, can say stick to this line, be centered, and flip. Bold. And if you want to know a cool thing too, so I can actually extrude this V just fine, but I'll give you a tip here. Since it's a simple model and nothing else to talk about, I suppose. So you notice that if I hover over it, it's like one entity. If you ever want to split a font out into its segments, so let's say that, instead of just being one block that's a V, you want it to have all the individual line segments, you can actually right click the font and you say dissolve sketch text. And then, you can go and delete a line, for example. So it's pretty cool. But, I just undid it because, that's fully defined in. Hooray. We like things to be fully defined here. I already forget how why I made this, as silly as this sounds. I guess. Let me go here. Okay, 5/16. Okay, so that is the same value. You gotta fully define. Yeah, I mean, if you ever want to remember, just head to Too Tall Toby's channel. I think he has the song that he wrote on there about fully defining. Although I'll be a bit chaotic evil at times. And, he never says how to fully define. Like, do you do it like a normal person, or do you do it the mad scientist way by going to this, basically this? Well, I need to add an entity first. Going to fully define sketch here. Yeah, I know. That's, what we should do? I need to make a SolidWorks meme of like different modeling techniques, but it's like the Dungeons and Dragons alignment chart. Like lawful neutral or lawful good, lawful neutral, lawful evil, and then you just have different practices. Yeah, I would say fully defined, it would be like lawful evil, because you're still fully defining, but you're doing it in like the worst way. That's some lawful evil behavior right there. Yeah, basically D&D. Yeah, this. Yeah, except this one's kind of turned around, but yeah, I would say... Why is this all... Oh my god. This chart is messed up. I don't know what this one says. We'll see. Sometimes I follow the rules and sometimes I don't. But yeah, lawful evil behavior is using fully defined sketch command. Because man, does it make some ugly dimensions. I once had a friend of mine delete all sketch relations and dimensions after they fully defined because it looks better this way. Oh no. Your friend really went, he really said, man, I like my sketches better in blue. Blue's just a better color than black. Why would I want to make the sketches black? Yeah, that's really messed up but kind of funny at the same time. Not gonna lie. Trying to think how I might do something. I'm thinking of doing something lawful evil right now. So I want to make this thicker still. And basically do the same thing like here where I make the candle itself thicker, but then I sweep some text on this. So if this is our target, you know, if I go like this, say select tangency, intersection curve, select all, offset, and I'm able to make something like that. Oop. And I should make that. I need that for construction. Yeah, I know that was a lot, but in basically to repeat, it was select all the faces, intersection curve, which gives these, and then you just offset to whatever you need. Yeah, because now what I'll do, which seems a little silly, is I'm going to extrude and just basically swallow this entire body up. So why don't I just make this from the first place? Well, it's because I put fillets on afterwards. And without dissolving sketch text, you can't put it in the you can't apply fillets to text entities. So I have that. And then I could just do that. Sketch there, select chain and convert. It looks something like that. I think that works. Here, let me turn the colors up a little bit. Oops. And Control Shift C. Actually, just put it at the part level. This is V candle. I hate the way that sounds. I do that. So I didn't need to pre-select. And actually, that kind of broke things. So let me try that again. So circular. There we go. And then I should be able to simply mirror this. Oh, before I mirror, I do want the edge as well. Thank you. And then now, I can go ahead. You know what's I think I know what would be chaotic evil, in terms of modeling. It's not modeling your parts basically centered about the origin in some way. It's like you have a part and like the origin's like way over here, like some random place. That's chaotic evil behavior, in my opinion. Yeah, I'm telling you, I think between Yaya, you and I, we can make this chart, this meme. Posted to the SolidWorks subreddit, get tons of uptokes. Be famous, and I don't know what to do after that. Bruh. Can we do a geometry pattern? Bruh. Alright, well. I'll do unmerge. Bodies, this and that. Okay, pretty good, pretty good. I can sketch on this, that's kind of cool. Nothing better than getting famous for memes. You know it. It's like, even though I don't... I guess it's something that a lot of people don't expect from me, but I just love memes so much. They're just so fun. Yeah, and actually there's a couple... I think one of the meme videos that I posted, I think specifically the stick bug one, even though that's like the deadest meme ever right now. I think that one did well on the channel. Let me see if I still have it. Well, here's the cake one. Cake one was also pretty funny. Bro, where did it? Yeah, 300. Yeah, so I mean, compared to my other like, standard form content, it's pretty good. Yeah, LOL gets stick bug. It gets stick bugged. And here are some of the shorts that I've done. Yeah, like the 60-second short of the overshot water wheel has 10,000 views, and the space dinosaur 19K views. So I think there's a lot of potential here. So, but I'll think about that some other day. So let's get some color. Okay, what it is, but yeah, short form content gets lots of views. Yeah, I think that's what it is. It's YouTube's really trying to compete with TikTok right now, and they're just literally encouraging basically anyone to make short form content right now. So anyone who posts short form content, it's like you get floated to the top of the algorithm just automatically. reason I know this is like I watch some YouTube shorts. I'm like, man, some of these are actually kind of bad quality. And some of them are just like nonsensical life hacks. Others are just like, it's just a guy sitting there just reacting to like a video that's like actually good, and it's just a guy's face like doing nothing. It's like, just seems very lazy. Yeah, I think it's fair to say it does serve as a good introduction. Yeah. Oh, the reaction was like, I see. You can actually, if you hit the 3 dots whenever you see those and say not interested, they should show up a little bit less. So thankfully, once you see them, if you say not interested, they show you less of it. Although I still see them every once in a while. Watch one 15-minute video and watch 30 second videos. Yep, we like that. No, we really do be like that though. And to be perfectly honest, I do see potential in short form content. Like it or not, like TikTok really did break the internet by, I guess, introducing us to short form content, and there's no going back from it. So I think part of it is like you have to join or die kind of thing. And I do see why it's like so consuming. Like I don't really use TikTok all that often. I guess like when I say use TikTok, like the ones that I watch are the ones that make it onto YouTube Shorts basically. But when I watch YouTube Shorts, there are some times where I just like, I'm scrolling, oh, that's kind of funny. That's the end. It's like, oh man, it's been 15 minutes already. How long have I been watching Shorts for? So I see like why or how it could be addicting, and why that's good for engagement. Yeah, so I think eventually I'm gonna have to like do something there, and of course I'll try and put some effort into it. But yeah, I think that's gonna be a future of this channel. Like my hunch is like it really is like, if you don't do it, you die basically. It's like just by looking like at this, 10K views versus just little stream highlights. It's just they're rewarding this right now. And what I do have going for me at least is at least I do have like a sense of like what to do. I have like a formula that I could try and use. Which is just like 60-second overviews of some of the cooler models that I make. We could start there and see where it takes off. Actually, let me make these equal curve length as well. There we go. These are disjoint, so I'm gonna have to do it as 2 separate sweeps. I could do a linear pattern, but it's kind of similar. It's just another feature. But the advantage is, I think you would do it the pattern way to be more conventionally. What I could do is that, so I have a driven dimension there. And then say linear pattern, for example, along that line. This 2, set to 2, and say that this is equal to, hello? I don't know why it's not letting me... Oh, it is letting me click that. Okay. Yeah, D3, so it's referencing that dimension. So the advantage of this versus doing it twice is that if I change the diameter of this one changes as well. So I would say this is the better way to do it. That's pretty good. And actually, since there's a lot of these surfaces that are perpendicular to this face, it's not good enough to have a plane that's just like this. You need one that's really looking at it like this. And honestly, I haven't used this feature since it was introduced in 2016, but if you open up a plane, you select a point, you could say create a plane parallel to screen. It's pretty goofy, you know. It has the same chaotic energy as fully defined sketch because it's just a plane that was just defined by how you were looking at the model at a particular time. So admittedly, I do not use it very often, but you know, being that it only controls the orientation of a decal, you know, I'll let it slide, I think. So again, alpha channel. That's pretty good. Danny says, have you ever used Rhino before? And what are your thoughts on that versus SOLIDWORKS? So that one's an interesting one because I have not used Rhino at all. But I have heard great things about it. And it's especially very powerful surfacing package inside of it. Like, it's often the tool of choice for, you know, industrial designers because it's has such a strong surfacing package. And one of the things that I heard it was able to do is, like, if you have like a 3D scan that's like a point cloud. So like, for example, if you 3D scan this cactus, you know, very often it will come in as like a cloud of points. And, you know, it's challenging for designers to create a boundary rep surface from that. Well, Rhino's able to do that by draping a surface over it, over the point, and basically fits a B-rep surface. So, you know, without having used it, I've heard nothing but good things about it and its surfacing package. Okay, well, that's looking pretty good. Hide. And definitely once I wrap up CAD model of the day and, you know, set that out for, you know, once I put that as finished, I'll be able to focus on potentially reaching out to some of the companies to see if they can give me like a trial license, you know, of like almost like a reviewer license or something like that. And, you know, I just tried different softwares. But I think this is our last candle here. I wish 3D scanners were more affordable. Absolutely, man. Last time I saw 3D scanners when I worked for a reseller, Design Point. This was back in 2019, but we had a 3D scanner, and it was just this like very basic like tabletop model. Had like a turntable like that big, you know, like that big. It would spin, and there's like a 3D scanning like kind of like a LiDAR scanner. I'm pretty sure, but this thing would sit on your desk, and you'd be able to scan objects no bigger than this, I would say. That machine was like $25,000. It's like really not affordable for a hobbyist or me or anything like that. Like if I have $25,000 to burn, I would buy a tractor and start building a house myself, or just put it towards that. Yeah, that's yeah, I think that's another thing that I haven't been in the loop in. So here's the thing with iPhone and iOS. I have an iPhone. I have the 12 mini model. So this is like the phone model with like the smallest screen because I just like the form factor of it. I just don't care for larger screens. But the iPhone doesn't come with a LiDAR scanner unless you get like the top of the line Pro model, which I've been always interested in trying out and using, but it's just too expensive to justify all that extra cost just to use the LiDAR scanner. So I can't say if it's any good or not. I haven't really heard anything about it. The thing is, like, I just don't have a lot of friends that both are engineers and able to do 3D modeling like this, B has a pro model iPhone, and C has the need to 3D scan thing for all of those things to come together for me to talk to someone like that. It's just, at least not in my friend circle. But let's do this. Let me search for a model of the day. Because I do have a cake model that I can import, so I don't have to do that again. So we search my drive. I think I did the cake from Portal. Bear with me one moment. Cake. Okay, so there was a cake bug, so I don't want that cake. I have a cake server. Oh, that's like the little spatula thing. Cake stand, not quite. But then cake is a lie. I think that's when I actually did the cake. So that was model 780, and I think I actually have that model on this laptop. So if I open, well, here, 780. Yep, cake is a lie. Here it is. What games I'm playing these days? Right now I'm playing through my Halo Master Chief Collection. So, I have a buddy of mine who's a big fan of Halo, and I actually never played Halo growing up. I had a PlayStation growing up. I got Master Chief Collection, and, we're doing the campaigns together just to kind of, like, experience that. So that's what I'm playing right this moment. I tried a little bit of Genshin Impact, like, a little earlier last year. And then a lot of, like, simpler games, like, if I have, like, just a couple minutes I want to burn off, I'll play, like, Bloons TD6. It's very fun. Or Super Auto Pets. Very simple but very fun game. Nothing worse than purchasing a game and not even having time to play it. That's kind of my big thing right now. I mean, I'm hoping to turn that around, now that I have, like, this time for, that I'm streaming, like, right now. I showed this, my neat little toy yesterday. I'll show it again. But, ended up getting a Steam Deck. I got this just a couple weeks ago. I loaded this dual boots between SteamOS and Windows. So, I've actually been playing Halo on this, and it's actually once you get it running, it's a good experience. But getting it running is tricky. Oh, actually, that reminds me. It'd be kind of funny since I have Windows on this. I should do a stream where I try to install SolidWorks on this and make a model. I think that would be very goofy. Now there's some content. Now imagine showing up to like a client meeting. It's like, okay, hello, Mr. Man. Thank you for hiring me for your project. I think your product's gonna come out great. So as you can see from these models, and I'm like like poking around there, and they're probably like, what is that? Yeah. So I'll do that at some point later. Yeah, no, I think that could be funny. Alright, so I have a cake here. Yeah, I probably would... I don't know how it would work. Like, I have no idea what a SolidWorks experience on Steam Deck would even look like. I think it would rely very heavily on just the touchscreen. You know, because SolidWorks does have some... I wouldn't say a lot. It has some touchscreen functionality, so I think it would rely mostly on that. But that's just my hunch. We gotta try it sometime. Let's do this. Let's make an assembly from this cake. And I guess to continue the other conversation. A game that I'm really looking forward to is the Dead Space remake. So Dead Space was a horror game released in 2007, and it was basically the first horror game I ever played. And I love that game to death. It scared me so bad, but it's so good. So, you know, if I get into the habit of streaming like I was... you know, like a year ago, you know, I might do the format where I do a model or like review a model and then play games afterwards and chat with you guys. And if I do that, you know, I'll play like Halo and some stuff. I've also dabbled in a bit of Overwatch 2. I'm just not very good at that game. And I just don't like the 6v6 format of it. But if Overwatch 2 comes out with its player versus environment, the PvE modes, I might stream that too at some point. But yeah, I'm not very good at that game either. Yeah. Anyway, Yaya saying, sensibly speaking, X Design should work better on the Steam Deck. But who are we to talk sensibles? Do I still use 3DX apps? Actually, not really. That's something I've been meaning to change. Like, I actually want to use X Design and stuff like that. And yeah, I think it's just like it comes with the goal of me expanding out of production I'm sorry, production's not the right word. Commercial SolidWorks CAD. That's what this is. This right here is commercial SolidWorks CAD. That's the expensive one that, you know, barely anyone can get their hands on. But the apps are a little bit more attainable, so I want to get better at those. Or desktop SolidWorks, that's another way of saying it. Yeah, PV is a more chill experience. Yeah, I think that's it too. Because, you know, I think the bad thing about Overwatch is like the toxicity of it. And the thing is, since I'm not very good, you know, I get some toxicities. Like, hey man, is your monitor even on? I'm like, I'm trying my best here, you know. I'm an engineer by trade. So, you know, I'm just doing my best. Ugh, why does that look like that? Alright, so let me see. So usually when I import a model from a previous model of the day, I like to show it as wireframe. I don't think that's going to look very good though, so I might make an exception here. So let me go back to shaded with edges. And I'm going to change... Yeah, check out that flame, by the way. That's kind of cool. No, I think it's the regular rendering, but it's just I think I just put a point light here and then color it orange, and it just radiates outward, which is why it's glowing like that. I think this is Asphalt. Let me check. Yeah, Asphalt 2D. That is really funny. Could I make that a lighter color? A different color? Not really. Yeah, but to make it cake texture, if you look really close, that's Asphalt. I think it sells it pretty well. Yeah, but I want something light colored, I think. With a texture. I wonder if I could do something like that. Oh god. Why does it look like that? I think these are for use with you know, the 3D texturing, but I'm not gonna do that because it might strain my computer a little bit. So that's not what I wanted. Okay, so this I can actually change the color of. So what happens if I just make that like a lot lighter? And then, so if I just make this blank, so it looks like a new cake. I'll leave the one candle there. So this looks like a new cake now. Let's do save as. So instead of here, this is going to be the cake with the candles. So cake. I'm actually thinking of doing like a detail here. Let me first get out of... I need to get out of perspective. Oh, I'm not in perspective. My mistake. Grab an intersection curve. Turn that to construction, and I should now be able to get the midpoint of that. So I say select midpoint. And this. Put that there. And just make that somewhat smaller. Basically, if I go ahead, do that. Do I want to merge? I think it would be okay. But basically, we're just going to get a circular pattern based on this revolve. This. And we're just going to have a bunch of them. Basically something to make it look like dollops of frosting is kind of what I'm going for. Is there a plane that could mirror this? Because if I do that, it could be very convenient. Alright, what kind of symmetries do we have here? So we have a plane right there. Don't really have any other planes, so I think I'm just gonna do that and bisect it like this. There we go. Not bad. Well, kind of sticking out underneath. I mean, what I could do to combat that. And he says, take care, man. It's 2 a.m. here in Portugal. Gotta hit the hay. Keep up the cool content. Thank you so much for stopping by, man. And I might be playing around with the stream times in the future in consideration of my international audience. I don't know how I would make that work, but I really appreciate you making the effort, and so good to hear from you again. You have a good night, man. But yeah, let me get back to this. Getting rid of those. So I think I could just use top plane and then use the cut with surface. And only select that. And if I do a surface cut, there we go. Now it's perfect. Let's save that. Go back to our assembly. Now let's finally insert our candles. Look at that. There's one. Insert. And then we pin this. The flat candle and the V candle. Alright, and so I think I'm gonna make this, all these sync down to the same height. I might have to adjust that. Oops. Oh, I have to make them coincident one at a time. I went to bed way earlier than usual. Woke up at 1 a.m. just for the stream. Man, that is dedication, and I really appreciate you for that. It's always fun to talk to you, man, and brainstorm what other cool things we can do for the community. And we make a pretty good team, I think. I like how this unironically turned to just making a birthday cake. And it came out really well, I think. I just want to adjust this blue color. So it's not just violently blue. Let me just adjust the angle. Yeah, teaming up for SolidWorks goofiness, there could be no better duo, I think. Let's see. So let's try and put this together. Let me put this the way I usually do. Put the V here. Well, let me rotate that. Don't know if you can hear my dog barking in the back. I think that looks pretty cool. Move that. Oop. Sorry, didn't mean to hit that. Get out of the assembly sketch. Save. So, yeah, actually let me... Alright, so this stem has to get shorter. It's too tall. 7.5. And this actually needs to get a smidge taller, and also the fillets are goofy. That works. I'm sorry, that had to get taller, so that needs to go to 175. There we go. So yes, so that should rise out of the cake just a little bit. I'm liking it. All right, so here's one last parting thing I'll show you. So normally, when it comes to solving this intersection here, you could see that there is a solid penetrating another solid, right? If this was a multi-body part, I could use indent to actually remove that material from the cake, so it's just the candle sticking in there. But indent is not available in assemblies. What is available is a feature called cavity, and this one is harder to find. So I'll show you how to do that right now. So basically what you want to do is you want to edit the part that you want to actually make the holes in context. So you can click here, say edit component, and now you're editing the cake. And now with that, you can go to insert features. Here it is, cavity. Pretty strange SOLIDWORKS feature. It's a mold making feature. But if I just pick, my new candles and hit OK, you can see that now the holes are created that perfectly fit around the candles. And what's really cool about cavity is that you can move stuff around in an assembly, and if you rebuild, the hole follows it around. If you open that up, you see it made the holes. So that's definitely a more unusual SOLIDWORKS feature. I think I've talked about it before, but it's not often that the need for it comes up. I like the way this came out. It is a yummy looking cake. So initially I was just going to make the candles, but I think the cake came out pretty well. Hey, Virus, what's going on? We're actually in the final stretch of the model of the day. I'm just making a birthday cake for myself. Actually, what would be... I'm almost done, but honestly, I want to do this confetti texture on the cake. It just looks a little too flat. So I'm actually going to do the same thing again, where I'm going to resize and double it again. So 2048. Yeah, Virus was here yesterday too. Just so good to see everyone come together. And a little stretching, but that's fine. You know, kind of making the... Oh, whoops. Let me see this. Confetti copy 2. Very inspired. Or cop 2. But then if I go here, let's go here, decal, add decal. We have this alpha. Oh, I forgot to put the plane, but let me see if I can apply this in a way that looks interesting. Update to current. That works. Is that transparent? Yeah, it sure is. It looked weird since the background color in paint was white. Yeah, or it has like the checkerboard pattern to do transparent. But the important thing, you also have to say to use the alpha channel, because if you use no mask, it looks like that. And actually, when I do that, I realize it's not quite centered. But yeah. We go back here. I think that's looking pretty good. It's a very fun looking birthday cake. Oh, I like how it actually even applied it to the blue frosting too. Alright, let me resave this. I like this a little bit better. Alright, let's get this finished up and posted. We're gonna open birthday cake. Let me resize the canvas a little bit and make sure that this is centered. More confetti is never a bad idea. Yeah, I think it came out really good. Like that. Yeah, kind of centered. Alright, that looks good. So this is, I have to put the condensed or light, that, size 20. And now, oh, it's pink. Model of the day, 1097. Birthday cake. Let's get that saved. And let's get posted. Birthday stream went really well. Nothing like catting. What are you saying? Say 3D modeling. 3D modeling with your good friends in the chat. What did you splurge on as your self gift? That's a good question. So last year it was the Framework laptop, basically. You know, that was my gift to myself last year. I think this year, you know, I didn't go as hard. I think I ended up just buying myself a pair of hockey skates because I want to learn how to ice skate. So that was like $300. So that's my gift to myself. We'll leave it there. Yeah, I basically, in terms of equipment, I basically have almost everything I need. Like, there's very few things that could make things a little better, but, you know, it's not like I'm missing anything large, so. Did I upgrade anything in the laptop from last year? Nope, it's still pretty much stock from last year. Actually, the only thing I will say, let me see if I have them here. The unique thing about the Framework laptop, and let me see if I can, maybe I'll get the camera in such a way that I can actually look at it. So give me one sec. Full webcam. Actually, let me go with this so you can see everything. there's my laptop with a couple stickers that my cousin gave me. But if I lift this up, the unique thing about the Framework laptop is that if you can see what basically the USB port, you can remove this entire thing as a module and replace it with something else. So for example, when I don't need HDMI anymore, I could just take that out and put another, for example, USB-C port. So it's modular like that. So that's kind of like the that's just kind of the pitch with Framework. And then in here, the only thing I have bought were more expansion cards. So for example, if I need Ethernet, you know, I can put that there. There's another USB-C. I got this one pretty recently. It's a micro SD reader. But yeah, so you know, I kept buying some of these cards based on what I need. I think the Ethernet one's like the most recent. Yeah, the keyboard behind the laptop. Yep, that is a real IBM Model M. Heckin' chonker of a keyboard. Oh, so actually it's two computers at once. So this handles all the modeling, and these two screens are controlled by that tower over there. So that's what's doing the stream. So maybe it's time to upgrade the tower. You know, I don't know what exactly I would have to upgrade in order to make it a better streaming experience. And I guess in terms of other equipment too, let me see if I have a mirror, because if you notice, I'm not using that Marantz turret anymore. It's the thing with the microphone with the arm. So that thing kind of died. Like it just doesn't. The connection is like intermittent. Here, let me change. Yeah, so the connection was just kind of intermittent, not consistent. So, in terms of audio and video, you know, I just have a Blue Yeti here, you know, next to my drink and all my other junk. So that's what's handling audio. And I don't know how I would do this, but basically I have a camcorder that I've had for a while. It's like a 4K camcorder that by using a capture card, I can get its input and you know, basically use it as a streaming camera. When normally it's usually just used for recording. But it could do a lot of like neat little things, like if I don't drop it. And then we could zoom into my 3D printer there. I'll check that spool of fiber. Zoom back out. So yeah, so overall I think that's an upgrade. Yeah, but in terms of the laggy stream, it says my CPU is at 5%, running at 59 frames per second, even though I set it at 60. Kilobits per second is 4,500, which is pretty much what I set it to. But yeah, I'll rewatch the stream and I'll see what it can do there, just by diagnosing a little bit. Well, I mean, something to consider. If you're talking about laggy between you writing a chat and then me reading it and answering it, that kind of lag is normal. But it shouldn't be like buffering or anything like that. Like if it's buffering and stuttering, that's not supposed to happen. So this is CAD model of the day, 1097. birthday stream went really well. Nothing like a 3D model. Nothing like 3D model with your good friends in the chat. Nice. No, I'm talking that I get a buffer every 10 seconds for about 1 second. Yeah, I'm not sure. Yeah, something that's annoying about my internet connection is that, you know, overall it's pretty good, but it's asymmetric. So it's like 900 megabytes per second down, but like only like 100 up. So maybe that's something that has to do with it. Here, let me say this. I made a wish I could spend my friends while I model, and it came true. I like that a little better. Writing. Or came with an E, not cam true. Cam is something else. The birthday stream went really well. I made a wish that I could spend time with my friends while I 3D model, and it came true. Those speeds are non-existent. I mean, the thing is, I'm on Wi-Fi in this computer, so let's see how good the router is. But if I go internet speed test, so this is the laptop with the with the Wi-Fi card. So keep in mind, this is not responsible for the stream at all. This is just like typical, if I look up an image on screen just for me, that's what it is. So that's a little bit more, so that's symmetric for the most part. But if I change it to my streaming computer, so if I change it to here, so now this is my streaming computer here. And I like bring this over, and then I do the same thing. Internet speed test. Yeah, so that's connected to Ethernet. We like Ethernet here. Yeah, but then upload, it's like it's very asymmetric. Yeah, good old PC Master Race things. Yep. Yeah, so that's kind of similar to what we're seeing through the Wi-Fi card. So yeah, and it's probably struggling with the upload because I'm literally streaming right now. It's trying to send the packet of data, and while I'm trying to send other packets of data through OBS to the YouTube servers. The thing is, like, could be the card, but I think the router that's near me is also very old, which is like why I don't like if I have to like download something large, I'll find a way to plug the Ethernet in, and that's why I'll have this thing, the actual Ethernet card adapter. All right, but let's switch back to. Yeah, I feel like asymmetric upload is very common. I visited my uncle. He lives in Maryland, and his gigabit internet is actually symmetric. It's like 900 up, 900 down. It's very impressive. Like something like that. Yeah, so I don't know if the upload speeds are bottlenecking anything. And I don't think they are, because the thing is, like in OBS, it'll show you, like, yeah, so if I do this, and whoa, trippy. But if you look down here, this is the bit rate that I'm streaming at. The target is 4,500, so you can see it's at 46 right now. So I don't think it's being bottlenecked right now. All right, enough trippy. Oh, the asymmetric upload and download? Yeah, I think that's ISP based. I think you have to specifically ask for it, or maybe it's just like a part of a business plan or something like that. The annoying part about internet in the United States is that every area is different and is like dominated by one company. Like they collude with each other not to step on each other's toes, basically. So when I lived in Ohio for university, really there's only one provider, and that's Time Warner Cable. That's it. There was like one other, you get satellite internet, but it's like, snail's pace kind of thing. In Canada, you get same up and down by default. That's nice. I think people are starting to come onto the idea of requesting symmetric uploads, because I think ISPs are like trying to like get away with basically transferring the minimum data possible. So if a customer is happy, if it's like 1,000 megabytes download but 60 up, it's like, oh well, I'm mostly downloading things, so it doesn't really affect me. But affects streamers because we gotta upload. We're constantly uploading. But my uncle has symmetric upload. My coworker also has symmetric upload download. Yeah, but it's internet companies in the United States, very annoying. Time Warner Cable, don't care for them. AT&T, more like AT&T. We have Comcast down here in South Florida, but and I think it's been okay mostly, but it's just expensive internet. Don't like it. Starlink can change that. I mean, potentially. The thing is, it's just... The thing is, like, Starlink really is like a leap ahead in terms of satellite technology. Right? Like, it's satellite that behaves almost like broadband internet. And it's like so... And it's like so close to doing so, but it just... They just have like a bunch of availability issues. Like, I think I can pre-order one in South Florida, but I don't get it until like next year or something like that. And I think it's to literally keep the usage down, because the more people use it, the more bandwidth is used. It's clogged up. So I agree with Yaya there. Hey, it's Jeremy. What's up, man? Thanks for the birthday wishes. So this is the kid who got me into Halo. So if you see Halo on the stream, you can thank Jeremy for that. How will things be in Philly? I'm trying to think. I've visited Philly. I haven't lived there, but I would assume it's similar to Maryland because it's close by. Actually, it's like an hour away. So my assumption is that they would be served primarily by Verizon. And I think Verizon is like the best internet I've ever used. Like when I went to my uncle's house, I was like blown away of like how stable and fast the connection was there. Like Jesus Christ, like 900 up and down. Like if I could set up my stream here, that would be a dream. And I've been like looking at this post for like the past 20 minutes. Let's get this out the door. So, if you don't mind me asking, Virus, why do you ask about Philly specifically? Are you going to visit there at some point, or...? Okay, so those are all posted. Maybe it's time someone made something like Restream to post to all social platforms. I actually looked this up when I started Cab Model of the Day, because to go through like all the platforms, was, very tedious at first. And there was actually some products that, you could get, and it would just send one post, it would just blast it. But the problem is that it was a paid service. Yeah, I think the thing is, that was like 3 years ago though, so the landscape might be different. There might be like a one that offers like a free plan, but when I looked into it, I couldn't find like a single provider, a single third-party app that did it for free. Basically, like it was something like, oh, you're a business, spend $50 a month to to manage all of your profiles. Like, that's way too, number one, too expensive. Number two, just too much functionality. I just wanna post to 4 social medias at once. But it got to the point where the whole process was just so automatic that it became a non-issue. Like, other than me getting like stun locked right now because I'm like talking, to post to all social medias and just have these like logged in, it just takes a few minutes. It takes like 3 minutes to post. So it's just like, a little annoying, but it's not a problem I'm particularly interested in solving, But yeah, other than that, I think this went spectacularly. I really like the way this model came out. I wasn't expecting to do an entire cake, but I'll take it. Also them having access to all your social posts. That's another thing. Whenever you sign up for that kind of stuff, it's not only that they themselves have access to it. Like, when I give that information to a third-party company, I'm not really worried that they themselves are going to use it. What I'm worried about is that, they have crappy security protocols on their servers. They get hacked and someone runs away with all the logins. Is them getting hacked. I'm more worried about that than I'm more worried than a data breach than the company misusing the information. And of course, the less people, less entities and people you have your login, the less chance for that to happen. Well, yeah, I think we'll call that quits here. Yeah, it's a bit late on my end. I was thinking about doing a little bit of gaming, but I think I'm just going to call the stream right here. So yeah, to everyone who came by, thank you so much for watching. Thank you all so much for the birthday wishes too. This has been turning 29, was a little scary because it's so close to 30, that horrible number, but just being here with my friends and getting all the wishes, it makes me happy for what I do, and I just know that I really appreciate all of you. Hey, look, I'm wearing when we were young, when I'm getting older. Yeah, the shirt negates me getting older. I don't know if you knew that. But yeah, with that, have a good night, guys. I have a stream on Saturday, although I might put another stream. Let me think. Let me figure this out real quick. So I'm extending Cab Model of the Day. I was thinking to end the Cab Model of the Day project here, but we decided. Oh, I need to move my face cam for you to see the calendar. Let me just do that. There we go. So I was going to end it here, but we decided to go up to 1100 round. So that's 8, 9, and 1100 is Friday. So I might stream Friday night. Yeah. Yeah, back-to-back streaming is tough, man. Yeah, I might do Thursday and Friday. Definitely Friday. Like, I want to get the last model of the day as a stream. For sure. So I'll set up the Friday stream, and maybe there'll be a Thursday stream, so... 1111 looks better. Oh my god. There's all these little things. So other than that, like, all ones, that's something I considered. Another thing I considered is keep going until you get to 34 squared, which means I could make a collage with a square, the sides each being 34 images long, and for me to fill out a grid 34 by 34 would be 1156. So that's like kind of close too. I mean close, that's a couple months. But yeah, no, I'll keep thinking about it, and my dog's scratching on my door. Yeah, hang on, maybe we can get the dogs to say hi. One sec before I sign off. Give me 1 second. Alright, who's that dog? Who's that doggy? Doggy? Hey, doggy. Hey, Jackie. Alright. Let me show you. Hey, Jackie, are you sure you want to be cleaning yourself on stream like this? Oh, I guess you can't really see her. Are you wet? You're a heavy dog now. Yeah, this hasn't been the first time that Jackie's been on stream. I had her when I showed her when she was a puppy. She's obviously a lot larger now, a lot longer. But I think she wanted to be part of the stream too. Alright, I'll put you down now. You are heavy. Ugh, I just gotta work out a little bit more. Alright, but at any rate, thank you so much for watching. That's all I got. I'm gonna probably take Jackie out at this point, and yeah. Peace, guys.